Welcome everyone to round 4 of the V8 Supercar official online series presented by Bigpond Sport, Extreme Sim Gear and Direct Clutch Services. You're joining us for a special event tonight. V8sonline turns 1 tonight, so happy birthday V8sonline, and thanks to everyone for joining us along the way. Jay Kennedy in the host chair, or one of the last times I think. Jason Bean joining me, as well as Stephen Sandman Clark. G'day guys.
G'day guys, great to be back, and yeah, looking forward to a big first birthday celebration tonight.
Yeah, g'day, good to be back. I've had a couple of weeks out of the hot seat, unfortunately, due to work commitments, but it's been a cracking championship, hasn't it? I mean, we've seen the domination of Scott McLaughlin, and I think it'll be interesting to see how it all unfolds tonight.
Yeah, dominating for sure. He's won 3 from 3, and he's actually over the weekend won a championship, and he's back to try and win the online championship as well. He's back to race tonight, but joining us for a hot lap around fantastic Phillip Island circuit, the home track for most of the guys in the online series. Josh Muggleton. Muggo, g'day mate.
Hey guys, how are we?
Very good mate, good to have you along to celebrate our first birthday.
Yeah, glad to be a part of it, and what a track to do it at Phillip Island. So I'll take you around in a bit and give you a bit of an insight as to how you get around here.
Yeah, one thing about this race is it's involving Sandman's favourite thing, pit stops and pit strategy. How do you go with strategy?
Yeah, I love it. It's good. Changes it up, and like I saw last race, I stayed out a bit longer, and a few guys came in early, and we pretty much ended up at the same bit of track at the end. So it adds that little element of danger and a bit of change up to it, and if you overshoot your pit stall or whatever, or you're too cautious on the pit entrance, you could dump a heap of time. So it adds that extra bit of skill and surprise to it. So yeah, it's good. I love it.
Just the same old routine, mate. When you're coming out for a hot lap, you just pretty much take it easy on your out lap, and then get cracking sort of with 2 turns to go. Yeah,
that's it. I mean, the slow out lap, you just don't want to scrub your tyres and put some unnecessary heat into them. So just keep them as good as you can, and yeah, start your lap as late as you can.
Now I go, of course, last week, mate, 4th place on the podium. Good effort last week, yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. Happy with that, considering the skill I've been at lately. So good to get another good points haul and move up that championship ladder.
Talk us around Phillip Island, mate.
All right, have a quick look at the scenery coming down here. We grab 5th, hug it in tight to the apex, just wait on it till you can feed the power, get it out, now back to 3rd and stay in tight here. Very easy to run wide there, just try and keep your mid-corner speed up. Now feed the power on, try and be as straight as you can on the exit. And manage the oversteer through here, and look for your brake marker, then hard on the picks. Try and get it pulled up, hit the apex, and then a nice straight exit. Get the power down without wheel spin. Then you just want to flow it through Siberia here, wait for it, and then just squeeze the power on again, no wheel spin. And it's all just a balancing act through here. Get it pointed at the apex, feed it through, and again, nice and early here because it's easy to wash out wide. Hold in tight, and a big brake down into MG, short shift to 2nd, come out of there, short shift to 3rd, feed on the power again, up to 4th, just a little lift and a dab of the brake, feed it on again, float it out to the apex, and that's a lukewarm lap, but that's how we get around there.
Not a bad lap time, mate. 1:32.7. That's about race pace after about 3 or 4 laps, so it's not too bad a lap for our hot laps.
Yeah, I think that was my fastest lap in the last race, so.
They're not far away from qualifying, mate. The last time the guys were getting a crack at grabbing pole position for the race. currently 4th position, mate. Do you reckon you got any more in the tank for the next qualifying round?
You know what, I do, but I'm going to focus on race pace, I think, just because Hampstead just got so much that we need to try something to catch him. I don't think the guys around me will improve too much, so I don't think I'll lose too many positions if I don't qualify. So if I can focus on the race set and try and get a bit more pace out of that and keep the tyres going for a bit longer, it might pay off.
Yeah, Margo, you had a pretty impressive start in that last race. Is that something you've been working on lately?
Not lately in particular, but always working the starts, and I've always generally been pretty good at them. Got a bomber last race, and just overshot my braking mark into 2, and a bit of contact with Richard, but luckily no harm done. I've got to try and get ahead of him to slow him up a bit to use his tyres though, because otherwise he's just going to romp away from us again. He's got mega pace here. I think he'll be really hard to beat this race.
In saying that, mate, what sort of on the reality board, mate? I mean, obviously anything can happen during a race, but you're hoping to just maybe a podium if you're thinking he's got that sort of pace up his sleeve?
Yeah, to be honest, I think it's his to lose at the moment. He's just got that much pace ahead of everyone else. So, yeah, podium would be realistic if I can get through without making any mistakes and drive clean enough. But yeah, 2nd or 3rd is achievable for sure.
And your thoughts coming into this round, mate? I mean, for a little while there, it was the only Australian track we had on Iracing. Obviously, not too long ago, we've had the addition of Oran Park, but a lot of laps turned around here just because it was one of our one and only Aussie tracks there at one stage. How does it rank in your books, mate?
Oh, it's got to be up there, doesn't it? I mean, we're pretty lucky to have our own V8 supercar and a few Aussie tracks even more creeping into it now. But yeah, it's always a favourite of us, and we've generally gone pretty well here as TTR. So yeah, no, always look forward to this one and always put that bit of extra effort in. So hopefully it pays off.
Now, Muggo, with the inclusion, I guess, of the new manufacturers in the Real World Series, next year, if iRacing decides to go with the different manufacturers, would you be likely to stay with the blue oval, or would you be looking to maybe mix it up?
One for him, I think.
Yeah,
Prefer to come last in a Holden than come first in a Ford. Am I right,
something like that, mate. No, I've always been a Holden fan since young, so yeah, I'd definitely jump over to that.
No, good stuff, good stuff. I think it'll not only mix the Real Championship up, but of course the official online V8 series as well. With
absolutely.
With the inclusion of different brands.
Yeah, for sure. Speaking of the Real Series, I think next season's going to be mega. I mean, if SBR and Kelly's can sort of pick up the slack with their new cars and close that disadvantage they got of having less testing, this it could be anyone's championship next year. It's going to be really good.
Looking at the season so far, Margo, your thoughts on season 4 so far, mate? Obviously, we've seen the domination of Scott McLaughlin, but if you sort of sit back and evaluate your championship so far, how do you reckon you're going?
If I had to give it a grade, probably B-. Just haven't been quite there. I always struggle with season 4 because busy with work and holidays and all that sort of stuff, so I always miss a few rounds. But yeah, not quite where I want to be. I'm there again this week, which I'm happy with. So hopefully keep moving forward. But yeah, it's same as next year for the real V8s. It's anyone's at the moment. There's genuinely 4 or 5 or maybe 6 guys who could win the championship. So it's really good. And if you guys keep promoting it, hopefully we'll get more and more people into the series.
Well, hopefully we do. Good luck tonight, Margo. We'll let you go off and get a drink before you go and do some qualifying, and we'll hopefully talk to you after the race in a good way.
Hopefully, that's the plan.
Good luck, mate.
All the best,
mate.
Cheers, guys. Thanks.
It's a great insight, isn't it? I mean, we're so fortunate to have these drivers come along and share their sort of insight into these laps, but it can really help these young drivers, and especially people who are new to iRacing, to sort of sit back and watch how, especially Muggo just took on that lap at Phillip Island, because there's so much, little details in there that can really help you go quick, and it's really great to see these guys take a bit of time out and show us how it's all done.
Absolutely. I mean, it's always been, I guess you've had your quick guys, and it's always been fascinating to watch the quick guys. But when they do share their insight, their knowledge of, braking tips, obviously where you can watch, and also obviously listen to them calling the shots as they produce them. It's a wonderful concept, and I think without a doubt, this series, the V8sonline series, is without a doubt probably the best in the world as far as professionalism. And having obviously boys just joined it, it's amazing to watch the talent that's out there.
I think the most fantastic thing about this series is the fact we've got so many real life drivers that have come in and had a go, and also we've had Formula One iRacing drivers, or pro drivers as they are in this simulator. They can't drive the car very well at all, so it's fantastic to see how good these guys are and how professional they take this level to be as good as they are.
And the one thing I love too is going back with this new tyre model. I mean, we've had so much help in the past from Shane Van Gisbergen and Scott McLaughlin. Their input has been valuable to get this tyre development where it is at the moment, because they're obviously, that's their main job. They sort of sit back and they know exactly how the real life cars behave, and to get that feedback and have that input into iRacing is huge for our championship.
Oh, absolutely. It's to have real life drivers have real life input into any simulator is invaluable again. So speaking of Scotty McLaughlin, of course, not here with us this weekend, but a huge congratulations, just wrapping up the V8 Super Tourers Championship over in New Zealand on the weekend. So he is killing it both in real life and online.
Actually, in that, he actually flew back home so that he could race tonight. So Scott McLaughlin will be racing tonight.
Is that right? Well, there you go. News to hand. Excellent, Jay. That's great news. So Scotty valuing his championship.
He actually flew in, done a couple of practice laps about 6 o'clock, did the early race, and complained how bad his setup was. So got the crew chief over in that team, in Team ANZ, actually goes, "What more can I do?"
He's on a sweet roll, isn't he? I mean, he's really, really on it. We've seen the last couple of weeks, he's grabbed the 3 last wins for starting off the championship. He's obviously sealed the V8 Super Tourers over in New Zealand, and don't forget, he's also on par to take the Dunlop Series out next week. So he's really on fire at the moment. Yeah,
without a doubt. That's it's a super effort, really. Fantastic to see. And he's such a nice guy. I mean, we speak to him after the race. And he's such an approachable, down-to-earth, honest guy that's happy to share his thoughts with us all.
Oh, not too far away from qualifying, so it'll be interesting to see if any of these guys can, make any improvements. And I think the way everyone's been talking, it looks like Hammer's the man to beat. So currently sitting on pole position. So the last dying minutes before we head into qualifying, it'll be interesting to see what anyone can dish up.
Yeah, early in the week, Rens Brookman was the man to beat. He was the first driver to do a really competitive time at a 1:31.5. And late last night, after the guys did the 2 races last night, Richard Hampstead come out in blistering time, a 1:31.3. So he's 1.5 tenths quicker than the rest of the field. And he's got really good race pace tonight too. So he's definitely one to watch, to look to break Scott McLaughlin's streak.
You're not wrong. I mean, that's a lot of the chat through the week is, Scotty on a three runs. I mean, everyone was sort of wondering if anyone's going to stop him for 4, but I think he's going to have his work cut out from him from what we've seen so far.
I think the maybe the lack of seat time this week, if he is challenged, will be his biggest enemy. But just touching on Rens last night, I jumped in for a quick session to watch him. And he was very convincing. So if the Hammer's got his measure, then tonight is going to be one of those edge of seats racing.
It's a track that always produces great racing all throughout the field too. We find, I think we've spoken about this in the past, Sam, and we always seem to find two cars always battling the whole way through the field. First and second, third and fourth, fifth and sixth, all battling amongst themselves. So I'm sure tonight will be no different.
Yeah, and like I said, with the time frame that we went where it was only the Aussie circuit, there were so many Australians that turned so many laps around here. So there's a lot of people that have got some really good data on this place and really enjoy it. So, I mean, we complain about it nearly every week, don't we? That we just sometimes don't have enough cameras to catch all the action, which is fantastic for our series.
Now, fingers crossed tonight we might be able to cover it all. We've got the three of us here for the first time, so great to work with both Jason and Samman for the first time together. Looking forward to it.
Oh, I agree, guys. Obviously I've tuned in and I've listened to you guys on the same occasion where you've been in the box together, and then split with the likes of Corey and Daniel in the seat as well. And I have also been looking forward to tonight with the three of us getting together. So I don't think there'll be very, very much dead air between the three of us.
I'm wondering how I'm going to get a word in.
Find the action. That's all you've got to do.
Richard Hampstead coming around Southern Loop for his first flying lap. As we said, he's currently on pole position, 131.3. It'll be very, very hard to beat.
It's funny, all the talk through the off-season was, I guess everyone was sort of umming and ahhing whereabouts he was going to go for the season, and he's got his new drive this season, and he's really on the money at the moment. I mean, that time in qualifying is pretty impressive, and everyone's talking. The talk of the town is if anyone can stop him. So, I mean, providing he has no bad luck, any unforeseen bad luck caught up in some dramas or anything, should be interesting to see how this all unfolds.
Well, the hammer, he's got a little bit of traffic, just lap traffic that he's coming around now nicely. And tell you what, the word, as you said, boys, is that Hampstead is the man to watch. So fortunately, we've got him on screen right now, and we'll be able to uncork something that may surprise everyone.
Lap looked really good so far. It's nice and tidy.
His current time coming into this session was a 1:31.346, so that's the time to beat. Not that he has to worry about beating that time because he's currently sitting on pole at the moment, but as he does that, he's done a 1:31.537, so not too far. I think he's just warming up at the moment. Still plenty of time left in this session.
Of course, 20-minute session here in qualifying before we go to the main race later on tonight. And I know that there's so many drivers out there that are trying to make this top split, whether it be through just getting the appropriate points to run up in the series, or literally just being able to qualify well enough.
There's a lot of guys that are in that fringe area at the moment, like racing right up the top in the second split, so they're all working hard trying to get consistent positions in that second split, the one just below this, which we broadcast on Monday night, with some guys that we've actually seen in the top split before, but because of their maintaining their performance and not growing, we've had guys come and overtake them and pass them and join the top split, so they're quite competitive now. There's Josh Muggleton on screen. As he said, he's doing some race runs at the moment, so he's trying to work out where to get a bit of extra race pace.
It's actually a smart move, isn't it? I mean, we've seen it through drivers throughout many seasons where the guys have pretty much put down a time that they think that will sort of do them for the race, and then they switch to sort of race mode and they'll work on a race setup, which is a pretty smart move because, as we spoke to him earlier, he thinks at this stage that Hammer's got it in the bag, so he wants to go out, not to worry too much about qualifying and work on that race setup and hopefully throw something at Hammer a little bit later on.
Now, a guy that's been driving exceptionally well this season is Sean Kelly, and Kelly, along with his teammate, have been really mixing it up. The first couple of rounds, I think the V8 Supercar fan group drivers have been, averaging around the 4, 5, or 6, 7 type finishing positions.
They've been doing really well with both Sean Kelly and Brad Ryan. Like, we've seen Brad in the series quite a lot over the last few months, and Sean's been in and out due to work commitments over the past few months as well. And this season, they've given it a really good go, and I think they'll be people to watch by the end of this season, coming into next season.
Yeah, Brad, we've often speak about during the telecast, because he's really moving his way through the field, had some great battles, and unfortunately you put a bit of commentator's curse on him there sometimes, Jay, but he's still doing a bloody good job.
There it is now. Just talk about him, he bought his lap pretty much straight away. Go to the solo hats.com driver, Mitchell McLeod. Whereabouts is Mitchell? There he is. I couldn't find him. The teammate Madison Down not racing this week. Finds himself in a little bit of a buddy mode, as you do when you finish year 12.
A little bit of R&R. So yeah, we're wishing Madison Down the safest of weeks away.
I'm guessing he's not watching.
Yeah, so somehow I think he's got other things on his mind. So Mitchell McLeod out on track at the moment, yet to put down a representative time.
He's currently sitting in 10th place in qualifying at the moment, putting down a 32.018, so that's what he'd be looking to improve on at the moment, but time will tell as he gets through the end of this lap and comes off the last couple of turns.
Richard Hampstead's on a pretty impressive lap at the moment now too. McLeod, he hasn't done a lot of practice this week. Hampstead does a 31.479. McLeod improves with a 31.993. Good lap from him.
Well, Mitchell McLean steps up as well, 131.993, currently sitting third. Now, John Emerson, I'll spit his name out, of course, racing for TTL. He's slowly but surely starting to really make his way up towards the pointy end. We see that he's in the field there strongly with a 131.916 at the moment, and is about to start another of his qualifiers right now.
Yeah, currently in P8 coming into this final qualifying session, not too far off his target time what he put down through the week, so he's definitely on it, but as we see sometimes in qualifying, it's easy just to make that one little boo-boo, and it's sometimes you're better off just heading back to the pits, put on a fresh set of boots and having another red hot go. But we've approached the halfway mark of this session. It's a 20-minute session, 10 minutes down, 10 minutes to go, so these guys are sort of at the point now where they need to sort of get on with it now if they've had a couple of red hot goes, and you know, we'll see how the rest of it unfolds.
Now, John, of course, on track at the moment. MO, he had that drama at the start of race one from memory, and well, no, he's pulled the pin on the session. So, but he had that clutch issue off the start line, and that caused all sorts of problems. So,
I think problems, I think, is an understatement. It caused absolute mayhem behind you, but he's come back from that pretty well. He's been pretty consistent all season, so it's great to see him out there and moving further up through the field. He's definitely one to watch this season, and for next season he'll be right up in the first top 3, 4, 5. On screen at the moment, a guy that you probably know better than all of us, Jason. Matthew Barron, Squizzer.
yeah, Squizzer, he's another young guy that has just had his week of partying after finishing year 12, and also another young gun that's just received his P plate. So, but Squiz, he's a great young guy, fantastic attitude, fantastic race attitude, and just an all-round nice guy. So I think we've got him back in the pits. Looks like the hammer is about to throw down another.
start to the lap by him too.
It's going to obviously paint the obvious right in front of you, but his car looks good, doesn't it? I mean, he's definitely got that thing set up, and I mean, it's proven that in his times. I think in qualifying as it stands, he's probably almost got 0.2 of a second on second place, which is Rens Brookman at this stage. But yeah, the car looks really settled and looks like it's easy to drive at this stage.
Yeah, he's gone to a team that's probably the most prepared in regards to setups and use of telemetry and all of that sort of stuff. So definitely will be helping him this season, going to a team that puts in a fair bit of effort into the harder bits, I guess you'd say, of sim racing or racing in general. That the setup and all that sort of stuff is the hard work. Getting out there and driving, once you've got that worked out, tends to be the easy bit.
Not a bad time. He doesn't improve on his overall time. Fastest time for the week, 31.346, and he just laid down a 31.448. So he's definitely on the money.
It's consistently been putting down, well, what would be the whole time anyway if he hadn't already got that low time. Definitely on it.
I guess the biggest thing is he's showing some good consistency. You know, the 31.3 earlier, and of course 31.449, then a 31.448. So he's really found his groove, and yeah, what you would assume that if he can maintain that pace, the focus, and keep himself out of drama up front, then he's going to be a very tough man to beat tonight.
Great lap from Brad Ryan, improves his time, I believe.
Yeah, he was in the 31.842, so he's just laid down a 31.778. So
that'll improve him by 2 spots.
Beautiful, very handy.
Justin Ruggie crosses the line. He doesn't improve on his time. That's his best lap in this session, though. Currently in P3 with a 31.562.
I think we're at that point of the session, isn't it, where everyone's sort of diving back to the pits. They know we've got sort of 6 minutes or just under 6 minutes to go in this session. So if they haven't put down a decent time now, or they don't feel that they're on anything at the moment, it's a perfect time to head back to the pits and put on those fresh set of tyres, because that's really invaluable, isn't it?
Well, I think Matty Barron is on a hot one now. Of course, the extremesimgear.com.au Ford Falcon for Barron. Still yet to make his first race in the main game. He's been working away trying to earn his stripes, but not there just as yet.
Chance that we'll see him in the race tonight, I think. He's very, very close to being in that top split tonight, so it'll just depend on how many drivers we have turn up and those sort of factors, but he's pretty close to it.
Tell you what, he got himself a little loose out of Siberia there. The tail stepped out on him, but he held onto it very nicely as he comes up through 7 into 8 at the hay shed.
It's one thing I do love about our series is that you have to each week still keep cracking at it, because like we said, you know, you're not always guaranteed a spot regardless of whether you're leading the championship or not in the main game. If your rating isn't there and you don't have enough to make the top split, you're not in, regardless where you are in the championship at all. So it's not like real life racing with the V8 Supercars. If you've got a guaranteed spot, you know, you automatically show up to the next round. But it's a different story here at Iracing, which is fantastic.
Yeah, in saying that, looking through the championship, I think a couple of guys in the top 15, I think there might be 3, 4 guys in the top 15 actually don't make the top split.
Crazy stuff, isn't it? We see Barron there, 133.403, so certainly not his best, certainly not representative of where we should see him.
Of course, he's using the same setup that we see Rens Brookman using. Rens got almost 2 seconds on him, so definitely not representative.
Currently got Brad Ryan on screen, the V8 Supercar fan group Falcon, having another red hot go. We did say he improved last time round, putting down a 31.7, so like we said, he moved up a couple of grid spots, and gets a little bit taily there coming into the hairpin, but still holding on to it.
Personal best first sector as well, so he's on a good lap right now as well. Just hopefully that little bit of a Worm under brakes hasn't hurt his time too much.
Yeah, he's still on it. The good thing is there's no lap traffic in his way, so he's got the track to himself.
Not bad through that second sector time-wise.
The times are incredibly close at where he's put himself now. Like I said, he's 31.7. He's moved himself up a couple of spots on the grid, but there's so many guys in qualifying that are all sitting on 31.6s. I think there's 3 or 4 cars on 31.6s. So if he finds himself a 10th or 2, that's going to make a huge difference in qualifying.
Yeah, 10th could gain him 3 spots.
It's huge, isn't it?
Unheard of in our series. Doesn't do it though.
No, stops blocks 131.853 for Brad Ryan. And I noticed that Justin Ruggie has stepped up in this session, 31.709 to be second quickest in the session so far.
About to cross the line again. 31.8 again, so he's fairly consistent in this session. A little bit away from his best time though.
It makes me wonder if he's possibly having a couple of tweaks thinking about race setup. Like we said, he's probably about, what, 3/10 maybe off what he's put through the week. So though he is having another red hot go. So
Mitch McLeod just starting his, what will be his last hot lap, last flying lap. Currently in P10, so he won't be very happy with that at all. As I said, he has done limited practice this week.
oh, he's having a red hot go into the hairpin. Says a lot for our sport, isn't it? You know, he's not that far off pole position. Well, when I say that, so it's just over half a second. But and that's, like we said, it's put him back to sort of 10th place in qualifying. So it's nice and close up front, which is exactly what we want to see in this championship. It's fantastic.
Just good to see the boys. I think Justin Ruggie in one of the V8 Super Group fan group cars, pulling over to allow him through. And there's a little bit more traffic as he comes up to MG. Oh, and he's got the tail out. That's going to cost him. It's all over Red Rover for Mitchell McLeod.
Jeez, he had a red hot go though, didn't he?
That was pretty committed, that. Go to Richard Hampstead. This is the committed man at the moment. Nice drift through Hayshed. Just enough so that puts him in the right position for Lukey Heights. Checkered flag's now out.
Nice little short shift I noticed there. Just trying to eliminate that wheel spin and short shifting up out of MG into 11. So as he takes turn 12, the final turn here at Phillip Island in the qualifying session. Let's see what Richard Hampstead can unwind for us. Quickest man on track. 131.469.
Another fantastic lap. He's the fastest driver in the session by a quarter of a second, and he doesn't improve his time. It's amazing.
Scary stuff, isn't it, for the rest of the field?
It's not what you want to see when you're out there battling away with. You think, I've done a good job. 31.7, fantastic time, and yeah. Just to put it in contrast, Justin Ruggie with his 31.7 in this session would have been good enough for pole last season, and it wouldn't be good enough to get him 7th position now this week.
Oh, there's a big moment, and he's thrown that lap away.
Well, a nice little tank slapper to end it off. It was spectacular, nonetheless. So, John Emerson, of course, Marth as he's known, about to come across the start-finish line to close out his qualifying attempts.
31.7. That improves his time. He'll win a position on Brad Ryan. So Brad Ryan will only gain 1 position in the session. Troy Cox will be the biggest loser. He loses 2 spots in the final qualifier.
Oh, it was good to see a couple of people improve their their positions on track, which was great. But I think the scary thing for the rest of the field is not too many people got real close to the hammer.
I think Richard Hempstead's in a world of his own at the moment. Fastest time in this session with a 1:31.4, but his best time this week, which will be pole position, 1 minute 31.346. Justin Ruggier, not quite enough to improve this week on his best time for the week. But the big movers, John Emerson, Brad Ryan, and Mitchell McLeod, all improved on their times in this session. Well, that's qualifying done, guys. Not long till the race. Only 10 minutes away. Your thoughts?
It's good to see. Like we said, there was a couple of people that managed to move up the order, but maybe a couple of people probably working on race setups. We see Scotty McLaughlin was actually in that session, but didn't even post a time. So maybe making a couple of tweaks to that car to see if he can chase down the hammer. But at the moment, it's all hammer.
I thought I saw Scotty sneak into the facility earlier, but look, credit where credit is due. Richard Hampstead has put the hard work in this week, obviously, and has got himself to the top of the sheet. And I've got to say, great to see Emerson moving up and tasting a little bit of that sweetness right there at the top of the qualifying order.
Yeah, it's all shaping up for another fantastic race at Phillip Island. We'll be back in a few minutes' time for our 38-lap endurance race of Phillip Island. You're watching V8sonline's coverage of the Iracing.com V8 Supercar official online series.